Hi there, let's talk about my build. I get asked all the time, ColdPressed, what's your build? I would like to do the same. Perhaps the solo gameplay, which secures tons of kills, is the main reason. At the end of the day we play this for the competitiveness and having some good fun. And if you have a good character that you can just play it nicely, get used to it, feel confident, and if you're into PvP, particularly player killing, then why not? I've done this for so long, killing tons of players throughout my time playing Ultima online, and in this server I struggled big time. When I first joined, I felt very strange. I didn't get used to the mechanics here, coming from a sphere free server, and completely getting used to the PvP element with different mechanics. Pre-casting, pre-hit and that sort of stuff was quite foreign to me. Plus obviously having an 18-year break didn't help as well, I suppose. And after starting at the Outlands server, I started pretty much doing PVM most of the time, but I was getting killed by a couple of PKs running into where I farm and just killing me with ease. Then I started thinking, what should I do? Should I just practice it on PvP? I always wanted PvP, but wasn't sure if I'm gonna like it here or not. So that kind of survival instincts pushed me to practice PvP more. And then I started playing about 50% PVM and 50% PvP. Eventually I thought, okay, PVM is getting a bit boring, and then my blood started boiling again. You know, that thing that you tried many years ago and really liked, you want it again. So I thought, why not? Let's give it a go. So I started a tank mage. It just sucked, couldn't do anything, and tried it again, just didn't work out well. Then I thought, I'll try something different. And I remember when I was in a dungeon, going around, a mage just teleported on me and just stuck a pot on me. I was like, what's going on? That pot is following me around the corners, almost like a ballistic missile. I couldn't understand it, because back in the day we didn't do it this way. We just clicked on the pots, threw them at the people's feet, and then when it exploded under them, that gave them a good damage, you know, that's how it was. Then I looked into it, thought, that's cool, I'm gonna do the same. So I made a character, started raising my alchemy, and got to a point where I started playing with it, a bit of doing PvP, and I was constantly short out of mana, and I thought, okay, that's not really great. There are some tank mages who just kills me in like about 5-6 seconds, and I'm trying to kill someone always running out of mana. I guess I didn't know how to do the PvP of pure mage, including a bit of alchemy in that. That didn't work out well. Then I thought I need to do more practice here, and I made another character just focusing on a bit of survival abilities and so on. Eventually I thought, okay, I need some healing here, and that kind of came out of an idea while I was PvPing with another person here in Outlands, who said he's got healing in his build. I was like, healing? Mage? How does it work? And he said, pretty well. I was like, okay, so what do you drop to get healing skill up? And he said, well, you can give up from tracking, you can give up from resist, and so on. Then I thought, if I'm going to make a PK, that sounds more like it, because you need to survive, and if you don't survive, you can't kill. And if you don't have that kind of a recovery skill, which helps you to basically just turn around the corner, get to live, get to see another day, then having all that nuking ability with the massive spells, with the highest skill they can go for, it's not going to help, especially if you're a solo PK. So I decided I am making a new character, and ColdPressed was born. Looking at it now, I've changed this character quite a bit of times. I did some tweaks here and there and started working out how I could do more damage and meanwhile still be able to survive, and then my build came together, which is something I'm going to show you right now. You might have seen this before, but let's just make it a bit more visual and I'll talk you through. This is what it is. I use 100 strength, 25 dexterity, and 100 intelligence. That's quite standard for a mage. Most tank mages also go for this as well. I guess there's nothing to really explain here. You definitely need strength to be 100, there's no doubt. Nobody ever drops it to even 99, it has to be 100. Some people go between the two, giving a bit more to dexterity if they are playing a bit more of a dexter kind of build with some magery. But if you are going heavy with spells and you've given most of your skills towards magery, then you don't want to drop your intelligence to keep the mana up. And that's what it is. And the rest of the build is unique to mine. This is my custom build of a survival alchemist mage. Now, starting with alchemy. It wasn't 100 for a very long time. In the last month or two, I thought I just need more damage from my pots, and also I would like more heals from my greater heal pots, and perhaps a bit of extended duration for greater strength and greater agility pots wouldn't hurt as well. So let's just push it to 100 and see what happens. And to do that, I dropped my healing, and that was about 70 for a long time, and alchemy was 90. So I pushed alchemy to 100, dropped the healing to 60, and I think this is probably the best build I have right now. And when you think of it, what I do with this character, going into the dungeons, getting out there, so many people chasing me, and still making it, still surviving, and sometimes securing some good kills, sometimes possibly not able to do that, but at least getting to live. And or if I'm putting up a fight, I don't go down very easily. So you don't see me dying often, and this build is one of the main reasons. But it's not just the only one. You can copy this over, but you're not gonna just copy over ColdPressed or the way I play. And that takes some time, and I guess which is okay. You just need to practice, you just need to keep on going. If you really want to be a good PvPer on this server, and if you want to solo, just like I do, unless you're extremely skilled, you could be a great gamer, it still takes some time, because there are tons of different ways you need to adjust your gameplay and get on with it. In so many different situations, you will need to read the game well, know exactly what to cast, what to do, and then just keep on going. You will fail big time, but every time you fail, you don't take it for granted. You just enjoy. You enjoy your defeats as much as your losses. That's the mentality. So, if I just talk through very briefly what I do with this build, then I will skip to the next chapter, which is going to be about some of the tactics I apply with this skill set. So before I go to a war, what I do is I go for strength, pushing it to 120 with greater strength pots, and then after I also go for pushing dexterity to 45 using a greater agility pot. And that is quite crucial. Some people would think it doesn't help having dexterity at 45, but it does. It pushes your stamina to 45. And if you're fighting a macer, they are eating in your stamina very rapidly, and you don't want to be constantly drinking stamina refreshing pots to fill that up. So what I do is I start with 45 and I drink less pots to keep them for longer, and I can fight many more people that way. and this really helps me to do that. Second thing, strength. When you push it to 120 with your greater strength pots, because alchemy is 100, it stays at 120 for plenty of time. I mean, it gives you all that time to fight multiple people, unless you get weaken casted on you. It will stay 120. Every time you heal yourself, push it to 120. It gives you plenty of room for safety and to be able to fight. And when your opponent sees your health very low, let's say they see it at 10%, if it was 100, you would have 10 hits left, which is lightning hits you and then you're dead. But if it is 120, then you have 12 hits left. So that 2 hits more could basically help you survive. And that's the magic there. The rest is quite straightforward to read through. We have Evolint, which is 100. It's great for spells. If you want to cast like a damaging spell, then you want it to be at 100 to get the maximum damage from your spells. Magery 100, period. There's no discussion, no nothing here. You cannot drop it. Wrestling at 100 is super crucial. It's a must for me. You don't just get to kill Dexters with ease, because they miss a lot when you're at 100, but you also get a chance to hit your opponents if you have hamstring, and this secures it, so you're more likely to hit and hamstring your opponent if it's at 100. Meditation 100, again quite self-explanatory. You want your mana to be filling up pretty quickly, because in the fight most of the time you run out of it, and if you can gain it back quickly, you might just secure a kill. But if you're short with skills, you could think about dropping it to 80 at first and then see how it goes. Magic resist, I wouldn't drop it below 80, and I don't think there is any reason to push it above 80. This is just a sweet spot. It gives you all the security, all the defensive power, both in PvP and also while running up and down in dungeon, and when the mobs are all on you, it also helps as well. Tracking at 80 is, I think, perfect. You can push it up to 100 or even 120 if you like. That would give you more damage and better visibility as well, but overworld in the wilderness, 80 is plenty to see who is nearby. In the dungeons also gives you plenty of visibility as well over who is nearby, and if you are right next to a person who is invis, you can actually detect them as well as you're walking by. Healing is 60. That might sound a bit low, but it's not. I get about 28, sometimes 30 hit points recovered every 15 seconds that it takes for me to bandage.